In this video, we're going to take a look at building your first model in LINQ. So to get started, we're going to create a new model from the Create Model option in the Models card. First of all, I have to put in a name. I'm going to call this the LINQ Language. And the thing that we must do is pick a function from the business. There's a list here. Just going to pick operational and then save. And this opens a blank model for me that I can use. So the first thing I need to do is to drag the right node from the palette. You can see at the top here, we have a list of our nodes: information, action, system, and people. And if you need more information about this, you can refer to the cheat guide, which is accessed from the Getting Started page on our website. So I'm going to drag a capture action node and just drop it in the canvas. Once we have a node selected like this, you can see on the left-hand side the properties panel opens and there is a name property, but we can just type directly against this node. So I'm going to call this create new account. Our scenario here is we're capturing customer registration information from our website. So this is an action, so I need to describe a verb. I've just called create new account. That's something that somebody would do. And following LINQ's language, we need to identify the information which is created as a result of this action taking place. So I can pull an information node from the palette, drop it into the canvas, drag an edge from my action node, and connect it to the information node. We know it's going to connect because these black handles appear around the node. When I let go, it's connected. I can select this information node and I can type. So the name of the person is something that I would get from a new customer account registration on my website. There's an easier way to create an information node than dragging from the palette, and that is to click and drag an edge from the action node and then just click into white space, and the next node in the sequence is created, which is an information node. And now I've created that, I can simply start typing and label this new node. So another piece of information I might get is an address. And very quickly, we can do that again. Drag an edge, click, type, and there's my third piece of information. The language here is this action creates this information. And now we need to know how we're going to use it. So LINQ also suggests that we need information to enable the next action. And so I can drag an action node from my canvas and I could label it. Now this might be validate the account information as my action. Again, it's another verb. And then I click and drag an edge and connect it to the action. So I can do that very quickly. And my language now says this action takes place, this information is created, this information enables this action to take place. And again, we need an information output from this action. So I click, I drag, I click again to get a new information node, and I would call this validated account information. Next, I can drag an edge, click again into space. My next action could be load into the CRM. And then from here, another click and a drag and another click. And this is how I get my customer account. So you can see it's very straightforward to be able to capture this flow, which we call the information supply chain. And the language, again, that this supports is this action creates this information enables this action, and so on. Now we need to think about how this process takes place. So we need to bring a role into our canvas. So here's a role, and I drop that, and I can label it. So this could be our customer. And roles perform actions. So we have to connect roles to these orange action nodes. And we do that by dragging an edge and dropping it onto the action. And this says this role performs this action. So the customer is the person that's creating this new account. Now they can't just do that in isolation. They need to use a tool to do that work, to perform that action. So we need to drag a system. We're going to drop that and label it. So this could be our website. And systems connect to roles, and roles connect to actions. And now we can say this is the system, the tool is used by the customer to create a new account. When they create this new account, they create this content. Now this content has to live somewhere, And so there's another relationship that we can define, which is this address, the name and the email address. They're probably held in the website to start with. And so we can reuse systems that we create by dragging an edge from them and dropping them onto the node that we want to connect it to. This makes it very straightforward and very easy to reuse assets that we're defining in our model and hook them up. And when they overlap like this, we can select one of them, and holding the shift button down on our keyboard, we can move it out the way. Or in our toolbar up here, we've got reset layout. We can click that and the application will lay things out nicely for you. And so now we've got the system that provides this information. So we're on to the next action. I need a new role. I'm going to call this an account manager. And because they're performing this action, I'm going to connect them to the action they perform. And they need a tool, so I can drag a new one on. I'm going to say that they use Excel. I'm going to connect Excel up to the role. And I'm also going to suggest that an Excel spreadsheet is created as a result of this validate action. So you can see very quickly I'm able to reuse those assets that I'm creating and connect them into my model appropriately. So this language continues. This is the system that's used by this role account manager to perform this action, which is validate the account. As a result of this action taking place, we're producing this validated account information as an output, and this is the system which is supplying this information. And there's one more relationship that we can model. So let's drag a system onto our model. I'm going to call this the CRM. And it's this relationship where a system can automate an action. So again, we can connect the system directly to an action, and then I'm going to reuse it to say that's where the customer account information lives. Now when I reset my layout, I've got this nicely laid out model which defines LINQ language. So let's just quickly run through it. This is the system that's used by this role to perform this action. When I perform an action, this action creates this information. This information enables this action. This system provides this information, and this system automates this action. And there is a diagram, as I said, on our website. Please feel free to download it. It will help you learn this language, and it will also help you with some prompts about how to remember what you should label them. Thanks for watching.